couple other things that we were asked for in the report is some indication of what sort of economic benefits might be brought down here to the local community. I don't have to tell you that the Army has not spent a whole lot of money down here. As somebody told me the last time I was down here in the area, you come in here and you tear up our land and you stop at the 7-Eleven, buy some Cokes and a couple bags of ice, and on you go. I have said in the past that we are interested in buying from willing sellers only. Willing sellers in that 100,000 acre area south of Pinon Canyon. Nowhere else in the county but the 100,000 acres. We believe willing sellers are out there, and we will buy from them. Now, people have said, well, what do you mean by willing sellers? And I'm trying to anticipate some questions here today. What do you mean by willing sellers? Let me make it clear. Willing sellers means people who are willing to sell their land. The Army is not interested in taking land for Pinon Canyon expansion. We are not interested in condemning land for Pinon Canyon extension. We are interested in buying from those sellers who are willing to part with their land for whatever motivation they might have. So if you live in that area, if you live outside that area, we're not interested. If you live in that area, we're interested, but only if you're interested in selling. I don't know how I can be any more clear about the Army's intention here.
So at this point, do you have a willing seller?
We have been approached by several. We have not gone out and asked the landowners if they would be interested, but we have several inquiries. As you might imagine, never believe anything until you see the check and the deed pass hands, but there's more than a little interest out there. We have some, we believe, but as I say, nothing in writing on it.
With no funding available at this point, how does the Army intend to purchase land when there's a moratorium on funding at this point?
We, of course, in the Army and various other places in the federal government can't do anything without congressional authorization. There is a moratorium on buying the land. We have nothing in the budget in '09 to buy the land. It's the year coming up. That's the budget that Congress is currently considering. We have, I think, in the next 3 years, 10, 11, and 12, enough land in our budget, which has not gone up to the hill yet, to purchase the 100,000 acres at what we believe would be a reasonable price. We have not discussed price with anybody, and that, of course, is going to depend on negotiations for each of the transactions. But there is no money in the budget. There's no money before Congress right now to buy this, and in any event, we cannot buy until they approve an appropriation to do so.
Also, would there be intentions of the Army coming back at a later date and taking more land? Is this
I can't, let me answer that in two ways. I can't commit to what some other administration is going to do.
Absolutely.
We have a budget that, give or take, is about $20 million a year. And that's for the whole country worldwide to acquire land. So, and when I'm talking about committing, I'm talking about writing it down. Part of the problem we've had dealing with what happened in the early '80s is I don't know what promises were made. I can't find any paper to show anything that was promised on the part of the...
But it was also written down that there would be no live fire. That was written down.
I don't know what was there, but what we're doing here is I will not tell you something I will not write on a piece of paper.
And for the record, Los Animas County, along with the residents of Los Animas County, just so the Army knows, we're very patriotic of our military, of the people overseas, and what they're to protect our communities, our United States. There's a lot of veterans that are in that acquisition to be taken in this first go-around. Our concern is that if you can't find those willing sellers of 100,000 acres, then what?
We go back to the proverbial drawing board and probably look at some other place. If we don't get 100,000 acres, are we going to come back next year and try to get 50? I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke at you. If we don't get the 100,000 acres, we're going to go someplace else. We believe there are willing sellers here. We get the willing sellers, we'll stop. We'll go someplace else. So,
If you get one willing seller, are you going to condemn the rest of them?
as I told you, we are not going to take any land. We are not going to condemn any land. I'm not going to sit here and tell you if somebody walks in and gives me, willing to sell me 200 acres or so, that's going to be a significant addition to Pinon Canyon.
But there's one issue in here that I took great exception to, sir. And it's a part, without reading it all, it says cow-calf pairs were $600. Sir, I think an average for cow-calf pairs has been $12.50 for a long time.
But one thing I'm not going to do is put something in a report that is not a critical part of this report, albeit it does harm our credibility if it's not true. But I'm not going to put that in there because I know you're going to hold it against us as Commissioner Hill has done.